Hi, Heidi here, and I am so excited to walk you through profitable paint parties and how you can turn your artistic passion into a successful paint party business. So as you come on, please say hi, let me know where you're from, and I am so excited. We have had so much fun the past few days, and I hope you have had fun. So let me know right now what your favorite part has been of this whole thing. I'm so excited to share with you. So tonight, what is going to happen is I'm going to walk you through how to hire help, how to buy supplies, all the different aspects you need to know of paint parties and how to make a profit every party. And then at the end, I'm going to answer your questions until my face falls off. So, sound like a deal? Put yes in the comments if it sounds like a deal. Okay, so we're going to get right into it because we're going to be here at least an hour, and usually I stay and I just keep answering your questions as fast as possible. So we're gonna get started. Okay, let me know if that sounds good by doing a thumbs up or an emoji, or just saying yes, I am ready to learn how to make a profit every single party. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's do this. Okay, so here we go. Profitable paint party. Turn your artistic passion into a successful paint party business. Now, let me know if you are a visual learner. Okay, if you're a visual learner, I highly recommend right now that you have some paper beside you, have a pen beside you. Also, be ready if you want to screenshot some of this, because we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that is going to help you. One of those things is paint party possibilities. We're going to be talking paint party possibilities, setup and breakdown. We're going to talk about hired help. We're also going to talk about supplies, where you get them, all of that great stuff, and paint party highlights, pricing breakdown, marketing, and social media. Anybody want to learn a little bit about marketing and social media? Yes, we have a ton of visual learners. Awesome. So hopefully this will help you. The pricing breakdown, easy step to get started, the success path, and of course, Q&A. So as you are asking questions right now, my team is grabbing those questions. Let's give a round of applause for Paint Party Headquarters team and Texas Art and Soul team. They have been kicking butt all week. And so if you've had any interactions with the team, I'm just so thankful for them. So let's give them a round of applause. And then also, yay team. I love it. So they're behind the scenes right now grabbing your questions so that at the end, I can answer them as fast as possible to help you. Okay. So we are all about trying to get you moving in the right direction. So we have a lot of fun to cover tonight. Okay. Before we get started with the paint party possibilities, let's take a deep breath. So go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. Maybe thing in your head that's saying this can't happen, or maybe I don't do it this way, or I'm going to do it that way. Remember, there are many possibilities. So I want you to be thinking about, okay, maybe I'm not so good on canvas, but I could bring some ceramics and do a paint party, and literally you just put it out and watch. It's so easy. So here are some things that we do. So the possibilities, you can do anything in this paint party adventure. I like to call it a paint party adventure. Canvas, wood, porch leaners, ceramics, door hangers. Okay, so out of those, let me know which one you are most interested in. Are you interested in canvas, wood, porch leaners, ceramics, door hangers? You can also, which is really cool, do online, in-person art kits, custom orders. And then there's also the possibility of adult parties, kids parties, churches, community centers, restaurants, fundraisers, and so much more. We have Karen saying canvas and kits, and Suzanne with art kits. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. We have ceramics and canvas, wood and online. So I can see already a lot of you have different goals for this. And does that make it wrong? Nope. It just means that we can all do this a little different. So this is some examples of in-person parties. You can see canvas, you can see wood. Again, I do a lot of porch leaners and ceramics as well. This is an example of online. Right now, this week, we have done an online party together. You can see on the right, that's me teaching a corporate party just about not even 2 weeks ago. I was teaching that party, the pumpkin party. And then you can see me teaching online last spring. And then, of course, teaching you right now. So paint party possibilities online are very, very valid. So let me know if you're a person who's like, I do not want to do this in person, but I want to do it online. Like, let me know if that's you or not. Okay. All right. The next one, art kits. You can see on the left-hand side, that is Pixie, my daughter, and my husband, Bobby, getting art kits ready. Actually, hundreds of art kits ready. So they were busy, busy. Pixie took a little break, eating some food. You can see in the time lapse there. And then we have Maite on the right here. She's a part of Paint Party Headquarters, and she does a really, really great job of art kits as well. So we wanted to show you the possibilities. We also have the Highlander actually set up as a paint by number inside Paint Party Headquarters as well. So if you've ever thought about, oh, a paint by number, that'd be kind of cool. And we're constantly trying to push the envelope and make things better and better for you. What about custom orders? I know some of you, the idea of going to teach a paint party could be scary, but the idea of doing a custom order could be like, okay, I'm going to paint this at home. We have Indu, one of our members in Paint Party Headquarters, who took my snowman, the baby, it's cold outside snowman, and I think she's up to 100 custom orders now, just painting the same thing. She's like, I can paint this thing with my eyes closed. And she makes about $55, $65 a piece. And she does it at her home. So if that's something you're thinking about, that's another option for paint parties. Again, this is your paint party adventure. So you can do it however you want. And remember, any questions you have, ask them. And then we're going to put them in my team is grabbing them. So at the end, I can, kind of rapid fire and do them as much as possible. Okay, setup and breakdown and hired help. Okay, so you can see a picture of my daughter on the right, who, when she was really, really little, I just wanted to showcase that she has been helping me with this paint party business since she was 5 years old. So I told you I have been doing this for 17 years, and my daughter is 17 years old. But when she was about 5, I started having her help in the business. So you can see here, she has her little apron on. She's just so adorable. And now she's a senior. So I'm just like, oh, looking at that picture in love. And then my sweet mother-in-law is right there beside her. She is helping as well. And then actually one of the ladies in the back, her name is Shannon. She is a Paint Party Headquarter member that lives about an hour from this location that I was teaching this paint party at. And she actually asked if she could come to the paint party and help. So we had her help as well. Now, setup. I always recommend having, you can see in the left-hand side, this Easter party I was doing. I always recommend having some of your top spring paintings or top fall or whatever the next season is, have those paintings out and ready to go so that you are ready to book another party. And that's one of the beauties of when you join Paint Party Headquarters, having access to the lookbook, because this thing books itself. It's pretty incredible. All right, the next thing I want to talk about, and you can see there too as well. Sometimes I like to, not sometimes, always, I like to go above and beyond on my paint parties. So you can see there, I bought little rabbit ears at the dollar store. Anything you can do just to show them you care, show them you love them, all of that. You want to stand out above the competition always. One of our big things is we want to under promise, and I highly recommend to write this down, under promise and over deliver. So that's one of my mottos in life for everything. I want to under promise and then over deliver. And so that's one of my things as well in the paint party world. And I highly, highly recommend that you do that as well. So I want you to have that feeling, and even in, a workshop that we do together, that we over deliver. Okay. Where to get the goods. Okay. So one of the things that I love is when I do porch laner parties. One of my favorite things, even if you don't join Paint Party headquarters, please write this down. If you go to Essential Stencil and use coupon code Texas Heidi, all one word, HEIDI, you can get the porch leaner signs that they can actually use to do for the porch leaner parties. And that's one of my big things. I've been using those for years. They are my favorite by far. And I recommend having one stencil for every 3 people. Okay. So I always tell a lot of people, if you're about to do a Christmas party, make sure you get, the Merry Christmases or whatever you need before those parties start. Deco art paint. Now, when I first started this, I always used the Craft Smart paint, the cheaper, like 50-cent paint. Then now we've worked out a deal. So if you're in Paint Party headquarters, you get 50% off Deco Art paints every single month. So we have a coupon code inside there that you get to use every month to get your paints half price. Once you use Americano paints, you will not go back because it's just so much better. So much better. And then, of course, canvases, you can get them anywhere. But honestly, I have a Michael's right by my grocery store. And so one of my things is anytime there's a holiday, you will always find the Michael's canvas on sale. So I always go stock up on canvas when they're on sale. And usually they run about $2 to $3 a piece when you buy them in value packs. Now, same thing with the metal easels on the left bottom. You can get those from Michael's usually during the sales. I've gotten those as low as $7.99 a piece. But for easels and brushes, we do have wholesalers inside of Paint Party headquarters where we share more details on brushes and all of the goods where you can go grab those. All right, and keep your questions coming. My team, I can see they're already adding them to my list so I can answer them in a little bit. So again, the highlights of a Paint Party business, I want you just to think about, like, what could it look like if you were to teach a porch leaner party, if you were to teach a canvas party, if you were to teach a snowman party, if you were to teach an online party, if you were to have art kits. Like, think about what the possibilities are. And the thing I want to remind you of is don't try to do it all at once. Don't try to do it all at once. Think about what you could do over time. And then what could you use your Paint Party money for? So mine, for example, is cowboy boots and money for a cruise. So here's the thing I want to remind you of is you have to think about what your goal is. Okay. For many, many years, I'm just going to tell you a very quick story. When we lived in a trailer house by the river and it was, had so many snakes. It was just awful. It was an awful experience. I'll tell you a longer version later. But here's what would happen. So this house was so bad. And we were in Texas. It's before we moved to Florida. And I remember just hating that place so much. And I would be so cold. We would have that one room, our bedroom, heated. And then I would come out of our bedroom in the morning because at that time I worked at a bank. And oh my gosh, the Dawn soap would be frozen above my sink. And I just hated that place. And so I would drive 20 minutes to my mother-in-law's house and my father-in-law's house. And I would take all my laundry, I would take all my trash, and because we couldn't afford trash services at that time. And so I would use their trash can, I would wash my clothes, I would steal her Tostito chips, and then my father-in-law's vanilla Ensure. And I still remember to this day, I would sit on their couch, I would be eating those Tostito chips, and I would be drinking their Ensure while I'm washing my clothes, going, man, this is the life. If I can ever have enough money for Tostito chips and Ensure and Tide, they use Tide at their house. We didn't have, access to Tide. And so I just thought man, that is the life when I can afford that. So remember, everybody has their own definition of success. Now I love me some Tostito chips. It reminds me oh my gosh, this is what my Paint Party business has done. It helps provide me with the name brand chips. So whatever yours is for. So do you want to use it for Christmas? Do you want to go on a tropical cruise? Do you want to pay off student loans? We have many people who have paid off student loans. We have personal debt, a new car, home upgrades, cowboy boots like me, kids soccer, road trip, Tostitos. Like, what is it that you want to use your paint party money for? I saw a lot of y'all's the other day, and everybody's is different. So you can make yours be whatever you want it to be. Now, I wanted to remind you right now, this is a big reminder. I highly recommend you either screenshot this or write this down. But this reminder is for somebody who needs to hear it. And let me know if that person's you. There are people less qualified than you doing what you want to do. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time for the person in the back. There are people less qualified than you doing what you want to do. Okay, so please hear that. So many of you are going to think, well, I'm not ready. I'm not this. I'm not that, blah, 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 right? You don't have to be an art teacher. You don't have to be the best artist. I've said that many times. I know I am not the best artist. Yeah, so very true. True in every career. Yes. Oh my gosh. That is so true. I have to remind myself of that. Yes, so true. So please remember that as we go through here. There are people out there right now that are way less qualified than you already doing this, already making money. So remember that when we're talking about all of this. Okay, so marketing materials, marketing and social media. Does anybody here struggle with marketing and social media? Because that's one of the great benefits about Paint Party Headquarters. And also, I just want to give you a little tip with marketing. Marketing is 80 to 90% of this business. You may have the best painting in the world. You may have the best whatever, but if you don't know how to tell anybody about it, or you don't know how to show anybody, or you don't know how to get the link ready to do the prepay, nobody's going to know about it. So you could be the best at this or the best at that, but nobody will know unless you get your marketing out there. So again, that's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things about Paint Party Headquarters is it's done for you. The marketing is done for you, which is really cool. So we have everything created like this, beautifully done, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, anybody want to know about pricing? We talked about a profit every party. Let me know what you think the supplies for one party. Do you think the supplies for one party is over $100? Put yes or no. Okay, we got a lot of people wanting to know about pricing breakdown. Okay, good. Okay, so here's the coolest part. Okay, pricing breakdown. Roughly about $50. Okay, so here is the coolest part. If you are charging $35 a person and you have 10 people, Alexa, what's 35 times 10? $350. Okay, so we're not paying for a venue. We're not paying for food service. We're paying about $50 for supplies, and then helpers are optional. Now, if this is your first time doing a paint party, I highly recommend hiring a helper, even if it's only 10 people. Usually I recommend for every 10 people, hire one helper. So if you have 20 people, you have one helper with you. If you have 30 people, now you have two helpers with you. I usually pay $15 an hour, but I know some areas you can pay $10 an hour. And then here's the supply breakdown. So supplies are usually around 50 to 60 a party. And here's the thing that people forget. So when you are making sure you have a profit every party, I'm not going to go to Sam's or Costco and go buy $40 worth of paper towels. No, I'm going to go to the dollar store and I'm going to buy one roll of paper towels. I'm going to buy one thing of baby wipes. I'm going to buy one thing of paper plates. I'm going to buy enough paint for that party. I'm going to buy enough canvas with a couple of extra for that party. And the reason you do this is because then that very first party is immediately a profit, okay? That's the thing that is really, really cool about doing it this way, a profit every party. So at the beginning of this, obviously brushes are a one-time cost. Those I usually use for 2 years at least. before I replace my brushes. And that's with me doing quite a few paint parties. But I did not provide aprons. I did not provide easels. I did not provide any of that for several years because I didn't have the money yet to invest in that. So as you're doing this, sometimes I don't bring easels now just because of the convenience or because of where we're at. We're not going to need them. And so remember, you don't have to have easels. You don't have to have aprons. You don't have to go to Costco and buy enough supplies for the next 6 months. No, buy it for just that party. And the coolest part is when you finish that party and you know it is a profit, you have a profit from the very first party. There is nothing that is going to give you more confidence to do this again when you're like, oh my gosh, I just made $290 or $300. And very, very, very cool. Okay. Identity and God, not success. Okay, so I'm going to take a minute to just tell you about my bankruptcy story. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear it. Just put yes, please. Or if you have heard it before, put a yes if you've heard it before. But basically, you can see here, Pixie was a little girl. She was helping me, helping me in the surfboard business. Also, one of my dear friends and my mother-in-law. You can see her ponytail. Allison's there and Cherie's there helping me back in the day. So basically, what happened is I went bankrupt. I lost everything. When I was living in Florida and my husband lost his job, and I was a teacher making $22,000 a year with a little girl, and just really, like, we had our life planned out. We thought we were going to live, a couple blocks from the beach, and all was good. And then, of course, 2007, 2008. Anybody who is not hidden under a rock has heard of the big bubble in real estate, and the millions of people went bankrupt. At the time, I did not know that had happened. But when we were going through that, I was so embarrassed. Like, I had so much shame. I was so humiliated. I felt so sad. My parents taught me that you can borrow money, but you always pay it back. And we were kind of literally, in that cycle of it's okay to borrow, just pay it back. It's okay to borrow, just pay it back. And here came a time when my husband lost his job and now we're filing bankruptcy. Our mortgage kept getting out of control and then we lost it all. So what do you do when you've lost everything? I started painting because art heals. If you agree that art heals, just put, a yes, art heals. And I started painting. My sister, I went to her house. They had a saw. I ended up sawing out those little surfboards you saw. And I started painting them. And so I would bring them to school so that I could paint them on lunch breaks. And I would bring them to school so that I could, during my lunch, and I didn't tell anybody about this bankruptcy. Like, I'm telling you, I was so ashamed of that. And so I started painting them, and I just started putting details on them and random things just to get my mind off of this negative thing that has happened in our life. And I was teaching school. I had about 850 kids a week that came through my classroom, and I'd have all these kids come through and go, Miss Easley, can you paint me a surfboard? And I'd be like, oh no, that's just for fun. Like, I'm just doing that on my lunch break. And then Miss Easley, oh my gosh, can you paint me a surfboard? Can you put my name on it? And finally, after about the 150th kid asked me, it was like God was, hitting me in the head going, you may be able to make money doing this. You may be able to sell these. And so I was living in Panama City Beach at the time. And so I, talked to my husband. I called my mother-in-law and I was like, I think we can make money. Like, this is, let's go up to Pier Park. So if you've ever been to Panama City Beach, let me know if you've ever been to Pier Park. So Pier Park is this outdoor mall. And so I had a meeting set up and I brought my surfboards that still had polyurethane on them. They were rough cut. They weren't the best. And I brought them up and I was like, can I sell these at your fine mall establishment? And to my surprise, he said, yes. He goes, I think you can make some money. So we worked out a deal. We were going to rent a 10 by 10 square foot of concrete for $1,000 a month or $1,100 a month. And my mother-in-law knew that, we couldn't afford it. We just went bankrupt. So she said, hey, we're going to go in 50-50. We'll front up all the costs. We'll do this business together and then we'll split it. And so I was excited. I'm like, this is my new take on life. Like, it's going to be okay. I'm not going to be like, by that time we had already moved into an apartment. We, lost our house, lost our cars, all of that. And I was like, it's going to be okay. And so, oh, good. You lived in Panama City Beach. Awesome. Yeah. If you've lived there, you probably know where Pier Park is. It's a very popular place. And so I was right there in front of the Starbucks, if you're there. And so I got there and I was like so excited. I mean, we had cut out, all these surfboards. I was ready to hand paint each one. And I'm sitting there setting up, and it's, the shift starts at 10, and I'm like, okay, we're going to get some people. We're going to get some people. And nobody bought them, like nobody. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This sucks. Like, no. And so I'm waiting another hour and nobody is buying, and a few more hours go by, not one sale. And I'm like, something is wrong. What is going on? And so my mother-in-law, she looks at me and she senses my frustration. Like, what do you do when you've lost everything? You've gone bankrupt before the age of 30, like total flat on my face failure. And you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you get a drink at the bar. So I walked across the street. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings right there. And we're at the bar and I'm having a drink. And I'm like, man, this was my plan B. Like, life sucks. Life is hard. When you're down and out and you don't know where to go, like, it just sucks. I have this little girl to take care of and making $22,000 a year. Like, how am I going to make this happen? I mean, it was awful. And I'm sitting there, another drink in, having my pity party. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Like, what is going to happen? And then the phone rings and everything changes. The phone rings and my husband's like, Heidi, get over here. Get over here. We have orders. And I'm like, you're lying. He's like, get over here. We have orders. And so I look at Sheree, my mother-in-law, and my eyes are like, wide open. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go. She's like, go, go, go. And she pays the tab, of course. And then I tipsily walk across the street because I had a few drinks, and I look at Bobby, and this is like the moment that changed everything. He had all these, we had paper tickets for these orders, and he had this stack of tickets, and he's like, get to painting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was in that moment that I felt like I was flat on my face, done for. And it's like God scooped me up and told me that not only are you going to get to paint, you're going to get to do this. Like, I had this feeling of like, you're going to get to do this for the rest of your life. And I just tipsily, happily painted surfboards that whole night. I am like the slowest painter in the world. It used to take me an entire year to finish one painting. I ended up painting 1,000 surfboards in just a few months. These were all custom hand painted because I knew every single $20, every surfboard was $20. Every time they purchased a surfboard, I was going to make money to help my family. I mean, if it was raining, I was painting in the car. If it, one time we got 60 something orders in one night, I stayed up till 2 or 3 in the morning, in the middle of the night, painting as fast as I could because I knew I could get myself out of the situation. So when I talk about bankruptcy, when I every time, man, it has pushed so many decisions in my life, because when that happened, I didn't really know at the point. I didn't know the reason for it. Now that I've gone through it and I'm on the other side of it, I feel like I'm supposed to tell you about it. I'm supposed to say it's going to get better. I'm supposed to tell you that you can have success after a huge financial loss. And so, when I talk about my bankruptcy now, I actually smile because it is one of the best lessons I have ever learned. So I hope this is helpful for you. And so I want you to remember, a lot of times we put our identity in our success. We put our identity in things that don't matter. And I want to remind you, no matter how successful you are, no matter how successful you are in paint parties and art, whatever that means, I hope that you always take it back to your identity is in God. It has to be. And I'm very open about sharing that because I never want somebody to join paint party headquarters and then go, wait a minute, this girl talks about God sometimes, right? Like, I don't always talk about God, but I can't not mention what has happened in my life and how this has made it happen. So again, I just wanted to share that with you. Make sure that you don't tie your identity into your success. It can all go away in a poof. It can all go away in a poof. So make sure your identity is where it needs to be. Okay, so I challenged you a couple nights ago, or maybe last night, to have a guinea pig paint party. Now, this is not a paint party with guinea pigs. This is not a paint party with guinea pigs. This is a party with people that you could have as your guinea pigs. So for example, if you want to have your aunt over or your cousin over or your best friend over this weekend and teach them how to paint the painting that I taught you, that is a guinea pig party. So again, even if you're too scared to send, the messages, we talked about the magic script. Even if you're too scared to do the magic script, which by the way, works like magic, even if you're too scared to do this, I want you to take action by having a few friends over at a kitchen table and just paint. Have a glass of wine, have your favorite coffee, whatever, and just teach one person how to paint what you've learned, because I promise you that's going to help you move forward. You don't have to charge them. You don't have to do anything. Just move forward before your brain kicks in and tells you that you shouldn't be doing this. Remember, we talked about earlier, I just gave you that thing that I just told you earlier, a reminder that there are people less qualified than you doing what you want to do. So don't forget that, okay? All right. Now, easy step to get started. This is the magic script we shared. Let me know in the comments if you have already screenshotted this. If you haven't, screenshot it right now. Again, this is magic. It works like magic. Oh, good, Karen. She says, I've done my guinea pig party and have my first real party Sunday. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Very, very cool. Oh, I'm so happy you joined Paint Party Headquarters. Thank you. Thank you for trusting us. So here is the easy step to get started. You just send a message. Hi, my name is Heidi, and I teach step-by-step paint parties. I would love to see about doing an event at your restaurant or at your country club or at your women's event, wherever, on a slow night. Do you have time to talk this week? Okay. The reason you have to ask that question is because immediately, we're bombarded by so much noise all day. Besides our own thoughts, we're creatives. We have a lot of thoughts. Besides your own thoughts, we're also bombarded by messages, emails, text, calls, the TV, the internet, everything, right? But something about asking that question, do you have time this week to talk? When they're going through their millions of messages, that stops it and their brain goes, wait a minute, do I have time? And a lot of times, just by having that simple sentence, it will have somebody stop to read that message and move forward. All right, so anybody who has sent that message and has had success, please let me know in the comments. And I want to share just a few people, because I know I can sit here all day and say, I've had success. I've been doing this for 17 years, all of that. But I also want to show you that there are other people that have success too. So this was just today. I had to read this to you because I love this. Laura says, okay, so I joined PPHQ during the fall ball. I had immersed myself in all of the great stuff Heidi has for teaching paint parties. I got so overwhelmed. Should I do in-person parties? Should I do online parties? What about paint kits? Anybody else feel overwhelmed right now or nervited? Let me know if you're overwhelmed or nervited. As I was watching the Snowman Showdown, Heidi reminded me how simple this business really is. Just do the first step. The magic script. Duh, right? Magic script. I had not booked a party yet. I was so scared to go out there. Yesterday, I was at a luncheon with 9 new friends, and they asked me what I did for work. I said, I teach paint parties. Well, right then, I booked a Rotary Club Christmas party, 50 plus people, and another private party for 20 to 25 people. It only took me 3 months to have that light bulb moment. Thank you, Heidi, for making it so easy. I had to stop overthinking the process. I just want you to please, 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 please just know that you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to think, oh, I need to do art kits. I need to do this. I need to do that. I didn't start doing all of that at once. I started doing in-person paint parties. That is the fastest way to cash. In-person paint parties. So Laura, and a lot of times, how many of you are scared of success as much as you are of failure? That is a real thing. So many people are like, okay, I know you have told me the magic script works, but I don't want to send it because I'm afraid it will work. Is that you? If so, I'm telling you, you've got to step out of your own way, because what is on the other side of that could be friendships, could be so many different things that you're going to treasure in life, because you've got out of your own way. All right. So, and here we have Anna. She did a snowman private paint party. I mean, talk about taking action fast. Here's a couple of others. Renee, a paint party with 12 painters. The next one sold out in 2 days. Trudy, first party and booked 2 parties at her first party. And April says, booked my first restaurant. So excited. Thank you for the magic script. Now what to paint? That's another thing that people think. They think that they have to have everything painted before they start. No, you don't. Jenna says, I booked my venue every month through December. I'm waiting to hear back about my regular summer venue. I mean, just time and time again. Debbie, 2 assisted living facilities. Devia, her first fall church party and 3 more pending. Kara has 2 recurring venues already booked and started advertising. And Kathleen started about 2 weeks ago, dove in to the training and followed the magic script and has booked 10 parties. It is crazy how much money you can make doing this. This is called the cash cow. We have one of our team members. Her name is Julie Ferris. She's amazing. She created this cash cow for us, and I have made several $1,000s myself, as well as many of our paint party people. I actually have the cash cow right here. This one's actually Julie. I had her teach it for me at one of my events. And this one, people are making so much money off of this one. So this is some proof of this cash cow in work. So here's 16 paint parties Dawn has this month, scheduling more when she can. Just craziness. Randy, we've had some great parties lately. Love doing this. I mean, just so many cool things. Sarah, I love her story. She waited a while to start her paint parties, and then she started getting after it. And then she sold out a Starry Night within 24 hours at $38 a pop. Pretty amazing. Julie, oh my gosh, 2 weeks ago, she filled up the class with 55 painters and now another full class of 43 painters. Denise, her first ever art camp, sold out. So many cool things. And then Monique, if you know Monique, I just describe her in one word, joy. She just exudes joy. And she says, tonight was one of my smallest and best events I've ever had. Sometimes I paint with over 100 people, but the intimacy of a small group is unmatched. No matter how big or small, keep doing what you love and touching people through art. So Monique is so true. So true with that. I always say big opportunities come from small events. Okay. Big opportunities come from small events. Okay. So I wanted to show you just some more, pictures of some of our paint parties that we've had. We have the Spring Highlander over there, the cash cow right back at it, always making money, porch leaners, and so many other things. Okay. So success path. The success path is basically just to kind of like inside Paint Party headquarters, we put all of our trainings based on where you're at. So I'm going to talk a little bit really quickly about the success path. So let me know what stage you are on. Okay. So stage 1, the hopeful artist, you are brand new to painting. Maybe you're crafty. Maybe I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Maybe you're crafty. Maybe this is the first time you've ever tried a canvas painting, but you kind of are like, hey, this is something kind of cool, right? This is if you're stage 1 and you've never done anything like this before. Stage 2 is the dreaming artist. You're starting to actually dream what it's like to start making your own schedule, start teaching paint parties. You're starting to get, a little bit into your paintings, all of that. Stage 3, the confident artist. You are the person that knows, everybody's name at Michael's. They know your dog's name because you bring your dog into Michael's. Like, you are confident. You are starting to show people your art. You're starting to talk about it more confidently. Stage 4 is the techie artist. You are posting on Facebook, Instagram, doing reels, doing all kinds of fun stuff with tech, with your art. And then stage 5, you are a money-making artist. You are teaching paint parties. You are, we have Patty who says she's number 2. She's a dreaming artist. We have stage 4 artists. We have a stage 5. Very, very cool. And so if you're stage 5, you are a money-making artist and you are rinsing and repeating. And you're like, Heidi, just give me the new materials. I need the next paintings. I'm ready to go. Give me the reindeer. I need the snowman. I need the fall ball. I need this. I need that, because you are just out there making money and going. So let me know which stage you're in. I see some 3s. I see some 4s. I see a 2.5. Almost confident. We're going to try to get you to confidence. And let's see. I love that dogs are allowed at Michael's. I know, right? Oh my gosh. We used to always bring Blue to Michael's. We got to start bringing Piper to Michael's, but she's not ready. 5. Oh, we got somebody making money. Oh, that's amazing. My hope for you is to help you make money at this. Okay. Does this make you want to pull your hair out? So booking parties, designing flyers, getting prepays, going live, marketing yourself, selling art kits, creating new paintings, time management, how to teach step-by-step, social media. Does any of that make you want to pull your hair out? When I was a teacher, I was like working full time and then having to come up with new paintings on the weekend. I would have somebody literally go, hey, I want to paint a butterfly. Can you teach a butterfly? And I would literally work all weekend trying to get the perfect butterfly. Then I would show them the picture of the painting I did, and they would go, oh, I was really hoping it'd be purple and maybe just a side view. And I'd be like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding. I do not have time for this. Like, it was a nightmare trying to come up with the next on-trend painting and trying to come up with all the different stuff to have happen. So let me know if that's kind of overwhelming, because this is why we built Paint Party Headquarters. And here in just a second, I'm going to answer all of your questions. And you all know that this is our big invite to you to join Paint Party Headquarters. If you don't want to join, it is okay. I will still love you, but I still want to answer all of your questions about your paint parties. So keep those coming in. My team is grabbing those, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you get when you join Paint Party Headquarters. So inside Paint Party Headquarters, you're going to learn to market paint parties like a pro, how to get more butts in seats, or as Bobby said, derrieres in the chairs, and higher attendance, how to get prepaid attendees so you're already paid before the party starts. I already have parties that are coming up next month that already have prepays so that I know those parties are a go. Then if a party's not getting any signups, I know I need to put more energy towards that party, or that party might not make. Once you start going at this as a business and not taking it so personal, let me know if you're a creative who takes things personally. Can I raise 2 hands? Right? I was the worst. I was simply the worst at that. Everything that came at me was a personal attack. Oh my gosh. Then I started realizing, wait, this is just business. Sometimes a hamburger place has a slow night. Doesn't mean they shut down McDonald's. So there are times when, again, doing this for 17 years, where I would have a party of 100, feel like a rock star. And then I have a party that I could not get butts in seats because of the location or the host I was working with, and I'd have to cancel it. And I would feel like the biggest loser. I would feel like, oh my gosh, who am I to teach paint parties? Like, success can come and go like that. Again, that's why we talked about having our identity where it's supposed to be. So finally, when I realized that, okay, sometimes you're going to have giant parties, sometimes you're going to have smaller parties, like we just saw Monique says she's had parties of over 100, and she had one of her best parties of 6 or 7. So we're going to have those ups and downs. And I just want to remind you that when you have those ups and downs, that you cannot take it personally, okay? This is business. There will be times when you feel like a rock star and everything's going great. And then there's going to be times when it's not going so great. And you got to know that that is just part of it. Okay. So can we pinky promise? I know it's going to be hard, but if you can pinky promise, just put pinky promise in the comments here. Put pinky promise that you're going to promise me that if you have a party that cancels, it doesn't mean that you are not qualified to do this. It is part of it. I promise you, it is part of it. Oh, thank you. I see some of you doing the pinky promise. That's awesome. Okay. Also, getting prepaid attendees. So you're already paid before, like I talked about, have paintings and marketing done for you, and have more fun and make a profit every party. All right. So here is what you get. Okay. So inside Paint Party Headquarters, every month, we're going to have on-trend painting tutorials for you, marketing materials, marketing and social media training, monthly live Q&As, supportive community. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite things that I did not realize would happen, is how some of you would literally find some of your besties, like your creative besties, in this group. And that makes me so, so happy. I feel like I need to create like a dating app for creatives so that we can find our creative besties. And member brainstorm and strategy sessions. These are like peer-to-peer. This is a lot of times how you find each other, is through these peer-to-peer strategies, sharing what works. And then, of course, we have an optional, totally optional prayer and gratitude meeting. You know, over 5 years ago, when I came up with Paint Party Headquarters, and when I was like, okay, this is what I want to create, I'm so excited about this. I just kept going back and forth between, oh my gosh, I feel like we need a prayer and gratitude meeting. I feel like we need to come together and pray for our business. I feel like, that needs to happen. And so we have it where it is a totally optional. It's on Zoom. We don't, record it, so that, because a lot of times it's very personal, but it's just a time where once a month, I honestly feel like it is the most important hour of the whole month. It's a time when we kind of surrender and go, God, this business is yours. I'm just trying to be the keeper of this. So it's a time when you can come, we pray for you, we pray for your businesses, and we also talk about gratitude. Sometimes I'll have little challenges for you, or a little bit of a Bible study, and just fun things like that kind of just remind us of who's in charge. So I love that. Okay, so and again, this is over 5 years of Paint Party business training and content, and we are always constantly changing things, updating things, making it to where you stand out in the crowd. Another thing inside Paint Party Headquarters is you get 50% off paint every month. Every month, you get a coupon code that you can use once a month to get as much paint as you want at 50% off. So I love this so much. So if you're like me and you love to have a paint wall behind you, this is where you get your 50% off. Okay, so Paint Party Headquarters, how much does it cost? Okay, so Paint Party Headquarters, what I love about it is you can do monthly for $47 a month and cancel at any time. No hard feelings. You're not locked into a contract when you choose the monthly. Now, if you are like, oh my gosh, let me commit to this, I want to get 3 months free and commit for the year, that one means you're all in. You're going to stay for at least a year and give yourself the opportunity to succeed. Remember, it takes time. A lot of times we're learning, how to paint. We're learning how, a lot of you were stage 1. You're brand new to painting on canvas, or you're brand new to painting ceramics. But what I want you to remember is the coolest thing is marketing. We are providing all your marketing flyers for you. You just go in and edit them. We're providing your canvas. So this is a write-off for your business. So if anybody's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is something I should spend on my business, This is like the best write-off that you can have for your business. If you would have told me back when I was teaching full time that somebody would hand me on a silver platter all of the on-trend paintings, plus the tracers, plus the marketing, plus the step-by-step, plus all of it, just ready to go, ready to print and go. Oh my gosh, I would have paid them way more than $47 a month for that. So again, it's one of the best things you can purchase for your business, and it's a tax write-off. Okay, so here it is. If anybody wants to use their camera, they can do that. Or if you're on your phone and you can't use your camera, so you can look a little bit more, maybe check it out and see if this is what you want to do. You can also put, I'd love the link, and I'm sure my team will put the link into the comments. And here in just a second, we're going to start answering questions. Okay. All right. So we have some bonuses. Who likes bonuses? Anybody like a bonus? I love a bonus. Okay, so we have bonuses. And again, I love to under promise and then over deliver. So our bonus number 1 is the reindeer. So this is already making money for our Paint Party Headquarter members. So we wanted to make sure that you have access to this right away. Now, here is the coolest part. Okay, again, you have the marketing flyer. Did you say bonus? I did say bonus. Love a bonus. Awesome. The coolest part about our painting tutorials that we offer is you get the marketing that's editable. I said it. Sometimes I really struggle with that. Here's a Facebook marketing flyer, editable, so you can put your information. We have a color list, editable. Okay. We have the step-by-step instructions. Again, for those of you doing kits, this is so great for you because you can just print, go. I actually print these and bring them to all of my events. So when I'm doing the snowman, I print the snowman. When I'm doing the cash cow, I print the cash cow instructions. Then we have the tracers already done for you. You just print them, tape them together, get it going, trace it on your canvas. And then, of course, as you can see right there, we have the tutorial. So it's almost like a big bundle for our all of our paintings, which is so helpful. The next thing, you're going to immediately get the magic scripts. Now, I shared one with you, but we have 14 in here. So this is a download, okay? A download of what to say for fundraisers and door hangers for schools. Cold calls. I saw somebody book 3 parties off of cold calls this last week. We have exact words that you use. Virtual paint parties, what you use to get local communities for virtual paint parties. Fundraisers. What if they want to charge you? What do you say if they're asking, hey, that'd be great if you use my restaurant, but I'd like to charge you? We have exactly what you would say. And emails to communities, emails to churches, Facebook messages to churches, to restaurants. This is magic. This is why we call it the magic scripts. Okay, so you'll get an instant download when you sign up for Paint Party Headquarters. The next bonus. I love this. Okay, does anybody struggle with what to post or what to say on your Facebook business page? Right here is a bonus that you're going to get. This is a download. I just went and got it printed at Staples. And so it tells you exactly what to post every single day of the year. There is no guesswork. And of course, I have some fun quotes in there. There is no guesswork. And we have what holidays are every month, the seasonal focus, as place for your big push of what you want to try to get happen. We also have a place for tracking. When you track stuff, it grows, right? So we have a place for your tracking of your email subscribers, of all of this stuff. So again, this is the entire year that you're going to get with this. And this is one of my favorite things I put on the back of this. It's called You're Magically Made, Overly Optimistic, and Perfectly Placed. And one of my favorite quotes that I share often is this one. It says, you are never idling. You are preparing for your moment. Everyone has their own timeline. don't dismiss yours. Okay. So I say that because a lot of times, you're looking and going, well, somebody else is already doing this or that, or I have somebody in my town that's doing that. Like, it's okay. It doesn't matter. The way I teach you to do this, everybody has their own version of their paint party adventure. You may be upset because somebody's in your town doing this, but you really love doing porch leaners and they're not doing porch leaners. Or you may be wanting to start an online virtual paint party business. Like, you don't know where this is going to lead you. And that's the really, really exciting part about that. So does anybody like the bonuses? Just let me know which one's your favorite, actually. I would love to know, do you like the reindeer bonus best, the magic scripts best, or the creative prompt calendar? Let me know which one you like the best. And then we're about to get to the questions because my team just told me there's like 120. So I'm going to be rapid fire until my face falls off. I love them all. We have the reindeer. Awesome. The prompt calendar. Very cool. And I like them all. The calendar. The calendar's coming in. Wow. That's really cool. The creative prompt and magic script. Very awesome. I can't pick maybe the magic script. Well, the magic script's going to make you the most money. So that's my favorite because it's the one that's going to make you the most money. All right. That's awesome. All right. So imagine if you could wake up and know your on-trend paintings are already designed for you, ready to go. When you join Paint Party Headquarters, you have rights to use the Paint Party Headquarters designs for your paint parties. And we have hundreds. Here's just a very small snippet. And you could craft for a living. I know. Yep. It's crazy. But usually the people that make a lot of money at this are not the fine artists. Usually it's people who are like, oh, I'm kind of crafty. And then they go for it. And you can choose your own hours based on when you want to teach craft and paint parties. So anybody in here like to choose their own hours? Right? Anybody in here like to go, I really like, Sundays and Mondays off. So I'm going to have those as my off days. And so imagine if those were, choosing your own hours, you could actually craft for a living and all your designs are ready for you to use. I just love that. And then also imagine if your marketing flyers, your Facebook banners, and everything else you need is already done for you. All you have to go in and is just edit it. Our graphic designers have made these beautiful things. And then you can use your paint party money for whatever is important to you, or a much needed vacation or a road trip or paying for Christmas or whatever you like. Tostitos, Tide, Ensure, whatever you like. All right. And I just wanted to show you a little bit more. We have so many of these. So we change them up a little bit. We have them, for fall, for basic, all of these different things so that you can grab them and look professional all the time. Okay, so here's another bonus. Yay, another bonus. Okay, so I love giving stuff away. I just love it. Okay, so another bonus is the lookbook. Okay, so the lookbook, as you can see here, is so amazing. We came up with this about a year ago. So when you join, you're going to receive a printed copy if you live in the US or Puerto Rico. And again, I am so sorry if you're in a different part of the world, because I do know we have people all over the world here. So if you're in Canada or a different part of the world, I am so sorry. The shipping is so high. However, you immediately, everyone that is in Paint Party Headquarters immediately gets access to this so that you can print it, you can edit it, you can, let's say you love the summer section, but you want to take some of these out and replace them with your own. You can actually edit this. Now, I recommend bringing this to doctor's offices, bring it to your paint parties, drop it off at your local school. We have a spot in here where you put your information so that you can drop it off. And I actually have these where I mail them as thank yous. I print a bunch and I mail them as thank yous. It's just a plethora of paintings that show what you do. So again, if you are a brand new member, know that your lookbook is coming your way. So congrats, very excited for you. And if you are deciding to join, this is one of the great reasons why. We just ask, if you are only with us, for a couple of months, please make sure you don't continue to use the paintings. These are for Paint Party Headquarters members only. So you get the lookbook, You get the magic scripts, you get the creative content prompt calendar, and you get the bonus reindeer, which, by the way, that reindeer, those dots are made with marshmallows, which is so much fun. All right, does that sound like fun? Who is excited about joining? Oh my gosh, who is excited about joining? Okay, let me know in the comments if you are. Okay, so it's only $47 a month or $423, and you get 3 months free. Again, this is on an app. All the trainings are on an app. They also come on desktop. We also email them to you, as well as you are going to be a part of the private Facebook group where we actually share all the trainings as well, but you can also ask questions anytime. Okay, so let's answer some questions. Who is ready? And if you are excited to join and you're ready to join, go ahead and ask for the link. My team is there and they'll hand you the link. So I hope you've had fun this week, and I'm gonna answer questions so my face falls off. Okay, we ready? Let's do this. All right. Haley Clay says, what platform do you use for reservations? Great question. I use Constant Contact, which we have a discount for you inside Paint Party headquarters. I also sometimes use Ticket Leap. So Ticket Leap is another one that I'll use. Debbie says, do you always paint a canvas at your parties? No, Debbie. We do everything from ceramics to door hangers to canvas to people do succulent parties, all kinds of stuff. Carla asked, oh my gosh, Joanne Ford just joined. Looking forward to expanding and exploring my painting world. That's awesome, Joanne. Very cool. Thank you for trusting us. Carla Henderson says, do you have to have a business license? So Carla, what I want y'all to do right now is take action. Take action. Have a cousin over, have a friend over, teach them the painting I taught you. The reason why is because you're going to get so overwhelmed, and then a confused mind does nothing, right? So take action. Then go get your DBA. It's called Doing Business As, DBA, depending on what state you're in. But most of the time, you can just get started with the DBA. Okay, Joanne Sheridan, do you seal your finished art with what? So Canvas, I do not. Canvas, they are not sealed. They are just painted with acrylic painting, for example. They are not sealed. Oh, look at the metallic and the shimmer. Ooh, it's pretty. So they are not sealed. If it's a porch leaner or a ceramic, I will bring a polyurethane, like a can of polyurethane. Usually what I do is I say, hey, you can either go outside and spray this, or get this whenever you go to Lowe's, or if you have it at home, and spray it once you get home. Christine says, do you use water cups to clean brushes in between paints and give out paper towels? Yes, I give out paper towels, 1 paper towel per person. And then also water cups. I give water cups to every person. I know not everybody does that. Sometimes they do it for every couple of people. And then I just teach them how to rinse it, because I'll use the same water. I know it's gross, but for like 2-3 weeks at a time, and it starts to smell. But people sometimes will like want to rinse it and get a new brush right away. But no, I teach them to just rinse it, wipe it off, and then keep going. Del Ray Carlson asks, where do you get your brushes cheap and lots of them for parties? So right now, if you're not a part of Paint Party headquarters, I recommend going to Amazon. You can get cheap brushes there, or watching for sales at Michael's. However, if you are inside Paint Party headquarters, I have a very great resource for you to where you can get your brushes for about $1 a piece, maybe a little bit more. And I think it's really, really awesome. So that's where I get all of mine. And I share a lot of my wholesale. I share inside of Paint Party headquarters. Okay, let's see. Teresa says, does PPHQ have any bookkeeping help? Teresa, I highly recommend using QuickBooks. Okay, I did not do that at the beginning and I regret it. So now we do QuickBooks. I highly recommend doing that now, like when you're starting. Definitely keep all of your receipts. But here's the thing about taxes and things like that. I'm really careful to not give tax strategy, things like that. But we do, I can teach you about paint parties all day long and help you. But I don't want to get anybody in trouble, because I know we have people all over the world, and everybody's taxes and things like that can be a little bit different and can be tricky. And at the end of the day, we're the ones that answer to the tax man. So bookkeeping help, I recommend going to QuickBooks. I recommend writing off all of your stuff. including Paint Party Headquarters as part of your marketing. And then also, we also, a lot of times talk about like organization and things like that. Okay, Jaylyn says, in this era of Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal, what do you use for credit debit cards? So again, you can use Venmo, you can use PayPal, you can use Zelle. You can also use Square. Square is another great one. You can have that tied to TicketLeap. You can have that tied to Constant Contact. And I just today filmed an entire training. I just, I have a paint party coming up December 11th. And so I was doing all my marketing for it. And so I just hit record and did a whole training while I was doing it so that Paint Party Headquarters could have an exact thing. Again, I'm not a person who did paint parties, 2 decades ago. And now I'm telling you about the good old days. No, I am still today actively doing paint parties. It's just fun, easy money. It's really fun and it's great money. And plus I want to have my finger on the pulse so I can always be telling y'all what's working, what's not working, all of that. And Deborah Oakley, she says, how much of a deposit do you ask for to book a party? So if it's a big, like, for example, a big church party, I may ask for $300 for a deposit, and that part would go against what they still owe me. However, a lot of times if it's, a 10-person party, a 20-person party, a lot of times I don't ask for a deposit. Again, to each their own. Everybody does it a little bit different. And you can totally ask for a $50 non-refundable deposit if you want. I just kind of always been in the habit of really not unless it's a bigger party. And let's see, we have a couple of people who've joined. Awesome. Let me know in the comments if you've joined. I would love to say welcome. I would love to say thank you. We have Connie Hood. Yay, welcome, Connie. Katie Carter. Awesome. Very good. This is her 1-year anniversary. Yay. We have Melissa Benfield. I joined PPHQ today. I'm going to get all the perks. Yes, you are. High five. And we have Audra Lynch. She says, awesome. I joined yesterday. Well, we have a lookbook coming your way. And then we have McKee. Oh, I remember talking to you earlier on Facebook. She says, I joined today. Will I get a hard copy of the lookbook? Yes, you will. Okay, Yvette says, do you have to have easels for in-person? No, you don't. I did not have easels or aprons for a long time. And Barbara says, how much do you charge for porch leaner parties? I personally charge anywhere from $55 to $65. However, everybody charges a little different, but I really, really have great luck with a $55 porch leaner, and I still make money off of it. Okay, Vicky says, do you pay the restaurants for hosting parties, or is the agreement for purchasing food and drinks? So I have had restaurants where I've paid like $100 fee, but most of the time it's like, hey, I'm going to do this on a slow night so that you can make money. I'm going to bring people in. Josie says, how do you do the paint for paint kits? Okay, everybody does this a little different, but the way I do it is I use the Amazon, the little 1-ounce cups. That's what I use. And then I put them in a Ziploc bag. Joanne Swanson says, I sent the messages out twice, and both times I got an answer. Oh, she's talking about the magic script. Yay. She says, I sent the messages out twice, and both times I got an answer and have 2 parties booked. The second one I booked today. Joan Swanson, you're a rock star. That is amazing. Very, very cool. Okay, Karen says, do you use a headset mic when you have a large group? Okay, I love me a Britney Spears mic. Let me know in the comments if you love a Britney Spears mic. If you have a bigger party, or like if it's at a big event, a lot of times they will have a mic and they'll have like a regular mic or a Britney mic. I always ask for the Britney mic because I just, want to pretend like I'm Britney. But Brittany younger, not Brittany now. But Brittany definitely, she needs our prayers, y'all. Definitely. I do pray for that girl. And so anyway, so yes, if I'm at a big event, squirrel, of course, now I'm talking about Britney Spears. If I'm at a big event, I will have a mic, and usually talk to the venue. They will have the mics for you. Now you can buy a mic. I actually have right here. I have a Brittany mic that if I need it for a bigger event, I will use it. Okay. Another really cool thing about Paint Party Headquarters is when you have big events, always print out the step-by-step instructions, and then I give those to each person. So as I'm circling them like sharks, I'm able to help them, and they can, go along and they can read and do that as well. Okay, Tammy says, what's included in art kits is that all your paint and brushes. Yeah, I give paint and brushes, the canvas that's pre-traced, usually a little cup, a paper plate. I used to call my art kits just add water. I thought that was really cute. And then you just add water to your cup and you're ready to go. And Susan says, what does the membership not cover? Oh man, Susan, that's a good question. It doesn't cover me physically coming to your event to teach it, but you're going to get access to all of my paintings, my marketing, my tips. I teach you social media tips. I teach you marketing tips. It's a lot. So of course, constant contact, if you're doing like an email system, that you have to pay for your own email system. But honestly, I don't recommend jumping in and buying everything right away. Just like I'm telling you not to buy easels yet. Don't buy aprons yet. I want you to make a profit every party. When you make a profit, your confidence soars. And I want you to make a profit every party. Great question, Susan. Sylvia Padilla asked, how much do we charge in a clubhouse retirement community? It depends. So I usually still charge my $35 a person. But if it's like a more assisted living, you may want to work out the deal if it's people on a fixed income. But what I have found, depending on where you're at, in the town I'm in, there are people who are paying around $8,000 a month. So there's some like high-end retirement centers. And so those, I'm going to charge $35 a person. Now, if I want to go do like a nursing home, maybe I say I'm going to do a smaller canvas. It's going to be an hour-long event, and maybe it's more of like a give back. And then I would charge a little, a less amount. So it depends on what you want to do with that. Stephanie Lemons asked, what is the most people you have had at one party? Oh, probably 220. Probably 220 is the most. I've had several with over 100, but I've also had 4. I've also had a party of 2. I've also had a party of 6. So remember, do not discount your small parties. One of my parties that was 4 people went on to make me another $350 for a private party. They also tipped me $75, and they came to my local restaurant parties for like the next year. So never, ever, ever discount a small party. Mercedes Douglas, she asked, ooh, nice name. A Facebook group or a website for paint parties, which one is recommended? So if you're doing an online paint party, the best way, if you can, is just do a Zoom. Like that's how I do my corporate events, is through Zoom. But if you're doing like, let's say you've built up, and again, I'm going to caution you, building a virtual paint party business takes longer. Okay. Is it worthwhile? 100% yes. However, it does take longer. The fastest way to cash is in-person paint parties. Okay, type out. What is the here's a pop quiz. We've got a pop quiz. Okay, this is active learning. All right, stretch your arms. Stretch your arms. Okay, active learning. What is the fastest way to cash? Ready, set, go. See if you got it. Let's see. Fastest way to cash. In person. Good. I just want you to hear that, because a lot of times people immediately come in and go, I want to do art kits. I want to do online parties. I want to do this, that. And then they get discouraged because they're trying to juggle 1,000 things. And then they realize that, wait a minute, let me just make some money. Then I can juggle the next thing. Let me make some money. Then I can juggle the next thing. And before you know it, then you're able to handle more. Our capacity expands. So I definitely, if you're doing a virtual party, you could do Zoom. I definitely recommend that. If you're doing a bigger virtual party, you can do just like I did on a Facebook group. But again, it does take time to build. It takes time to build that. So just know that. So we got Tina Collins. She said, I joined PPHQ looking forward to learning all the new and creative ideas. Oh, I love that attitude. Carrie Corbin says she just joined. Thank you, Carrie, for trusting us. And we have Suzanne Rowe ask, do you do parties that are at a distance or where you travel to teach? How do you do that? Purchase items and then have them shipped to a host. Suzanne, I love traveling paint parties, so much so that we have a book called Traveling Paint Parties. And it's where I teach you how to actually do parties in different states even. So it's basically the same system. So like, for example, I have a friend who lives in Florida. And so I'd met her when I lived in Florida, and then I moved back to Texas. And then I wanted to go see her. Actually, what had happened is my sister needed me and I couldn't afford to go there. So this was years ago. And I remember thinking, how can I pay for my way to get there? So I ended up, booking with a friend's church. And then me and my daughter started doing these road trips to Florida, and would do all these different paint parties. So it was so much fun. And so, yes, we definitely, and then, yes, I would ship the paint there, or many times I actually did a paint party in Florida in August. This is very recent too. And I just put it all in my suitcase. I put it in a Ziploc bag and in a trash bag, put it in my suitcase. Just know if you fly with paint, they will check it. They always open when I fly with paint. Because a lot of times if I'm going on vacation or on a cruise, I like to bring paint with me. And sometimes when I fly to that, I always bring paint. Anna says, how do you get butts in seats? Oh, that is a great question. We have many, many videos to help you with this, but I'll give you one example right now. Getting butts in seats. The easiest and best way is if you have a host that you're working with. So I'll tell you this, for example. So last night, I have a party that's coming up in next month. And I said, hey, I need you to send this blurb, and can you post this on Facebook? So this is the host of the restaurant I'm teaching at. So yes, I'm emailing my email list that I have been building for several years now with my local clients, but I also have the host post on Facebook, and then people start tagging, especially if they have an active Facebook. And Joanne says, do you ship supplies yourself? Shipping cost. If it's an art kit, yes, I ship. But if it's an in-person party, of course, no. So hopefully that answers your question. Kathy Gertz says, so should we start painting those now for the upcoming spring season? Kathy, actually, the way I teach you to do it is a lot of times we don't have time. So I might love this painting, but you might send this plus the 2 other spring paintings, and they don't pick this one. Now, you may just want to paint it, but I don't have time to paint it unless it happens. So for example, this one, we had Julie. She's a part of our team. She's on here now. I did the fall one, and she said, hey, Heidi, if you want, I can do a winter version. Well, I was never going to paint this unless I booked a party for it. And then guess what? I booked a party for it. So now I had to paint it because I'm going to be doing a party next month for this painting. Okay. So what I recommend you do is actually get your party booked first with as a part of Paint Party Headquarters. As long as you know you can paint it, you can actually use my images to book your parties. Start getting prepays. Once you start getting prepays, oh man, I need to paint this. I started getting prepays, so I thought, oh man, I better paint this, right? But if this party wasn't going to make, I didn't have to waste my time painting it. And this is to help save you time. The whole point of Paint Party Headquarters is so you can grab and go, and you're not trying to frantically paint hundreds of paintings that you might not need. Another thing to remember is during a season, you may only need 2 or 3 designs out of the hundreds to make a ton of money. You can repeat that same design at different venues and locations. Okay, Kathleen says, are the art kits for the paint parties, or do you send kits for people to do their own? So art kits are for people to do on their own. However, last year I ran out of time and somebody wanted a paint party, but I was fully booked. And so instead of losing $350, I said, hey, if you want, I can get all of these kits ready for you and give you a video, and you can actually play my video and paint along with me. So I was able to make $350 just by meeting them in town and delivering those kits. Mary Hargrave says, should we trace before having the party to save time? Yes, yes, and yes. Allison Williams says, how many paintbrushes should each painter have? How many varieties should each person have too? I am very strict on my 3 brushes, which you saw me paint with the Snowman Showdown, my 1-inch flat, the 7 or 8 round, and then the liner brush. And then sometimes I throw in a chip brush, but usually it's those 3 every time. I stay consistent. That way, no matter what painting I'm doing, I never have to worry about buying random brushes. Is this helpful? Let me know. Let me just while I take a deep breath here, because we are still going. How can I get help to join? Okay, so if you need help to join, just ask for the link and my team will put the link there. And let me know if this is helpful. Because again, I want to keep answering your questions. I know it's getting late, but I promised you I'd answer till my face fell off. So I just want to make sure I'm good on my promise. Also, I just want to remind everybody of the bonuses. When you join, remember when you join today, you're going to get all of these bonuses. Okay. So remember, when you join today, you're getting all of these bonuses, including right now for a limited time, the printed lookbook. Okay. Okay. Jennifer asked, do you know where we can get those paints and brushes in Australia? And we have a post going inside Paint Party headquarters for international wholesalers, international distributors. Because I don't live in Australia, what I did was I got with a bunch of you that are in different parts of the world, and we talked about the places that you could buy stuff. So we do have like a post of all the different ones. And there's people in the UK that are in, there's also other Aussies inside Paint Party headquarters so that you can, talk to them and get their feedback as well. And can we use the coupons in Canada, Sandra asked, for deco art? That is a great question. Unfortunately, right now, they don't ship to Canada because of the shipping charges. So I apologize. However, don't let that be the reason you're like, oh, Paint Party headquarters ain't worth it. Because again, just access to all of the paintings alone is worth it. And remember, you can write this off for your taxes. And Joan Swanson says, I joined and I'm editing a marketing flyer as we speak for a party I booked today. Joan, way to take action. I love a good action taker. And Tay O'Keefe says, I joined. I look forward to having paint parties here in Australia and maybe some online. Oh, Tay, that's amazing. Joanne Ford says, I just joined. Looking forward to expanding and exploring my painting world. Y'all, and these could be some of your potential creative BFFs, which is very exciting. Teresa Harkins asked, does our membership lifetime or do we need to renew each year? It is renewed each year. So let me tell you how that works. That is a wonderful question. So if you pay month to month, it renews every month. So if you sign up today, next month on this day, it will renew for $47. You can cancel it anytime. However, if you do the year and you get the 3 months free, so you're saving like $150. If you do the year, then you're committing yourself to a year and it will renew in a year. So if my price goes up, you will never have your price go up. You are locked into this price. Great question. Kathy says, best insurance company to go with. So there are some different ones, and I highly recommend asking like your local, there's like a liability insurance that you can get, and it's very cheap. But honestly, right now, don't worry about that. Right now, I just want you to do a guinea pig party with a friend, a neighbor, whoever. And then when you're ready for insurance, go ahead and ask that inside Paint Party headquarters and we'll lead you that way. Donna Adair says, what does the $47 per month get us? Do we need to buy a kit for a specific painting? No, Donna. So if you click on the link for Paint Party headquarters for like to look like you're going to purchase, again, you don't have to, but if you look at it, it's going to basically say everything you're going to get, but there's so much more. So we have a meeting every month, a peer-to-peer, where we all get together via Zoom. I break you into groups. We talk. We have a subject like, okay, how to get butts in the seats. What's working for you? What's working for you, for example. Then we have a live Q&A every single month. I go live just like this and answer your questions back to back to back to back to back. You can rewatch those anytime. So if you've joined tonight, you can watch the one I just did last week. You're going to get the prayer and gratitude meeting, which of course is optional. You don't have to be a part of that. We have all walks of faith inside of Paint Party headquarters. So there's no pressure of, oh my gosh, you didn't attend the prayer and gratitude. Like that's not how I am. But I just wanted to make that available. And then of course, all of the painting tutorials, hundreds of SVGs ready to go, and marketing materials that you just edit and go for it. So there's so much more, plus a whole community of Paint Party headquarter members that help each other, and they're pretty cool. I like them a lot. Okay, I'm going to do rapid fire. Okay. Tina Collins asked, the 50% off deco art, is that when ordering paints online or it can be used in person? No, that's for online order. Debbie Hudson says, do you give a gift to your host or allow them to paint for free when they have a private party? Actually, sometimes I do both. I always give a gift, but sometimes I allow them to paint for free when they have at least 10 sign up. Joanne says, what site do you use for live paint shows? So for example, right here, if you're asking where they sign up for like a live in person, you can use Ticket Leap, you can use Constant Contact and create a event page. And then if you're talking about like online, I use Facebook or Zoom. Audrey Lynch says, how much prior do you market for the next season, if that makes sense? So here's the great news. As you start to build this, a lot of times you're just going to be repeating the same customer. So for example, a lot of my December parties are parties that I do every single December with the same groups, the same churches, the same American Legion halls. And so once you start to really get your name out there and people come to you, it's way easier to book as you start to build your audience. And, I told Bobby, I was like, I accidentally booked 7 parties in December. Like I wasn't trying to do that many. It's the repeat customers that I do every year. And you don't want to say no because, again, it's easy money, but we have a very, very hefty week. We have like 7 or 8 parties, and I think I have 2 parties in one day, and it's insane, but it gets easier. So I always just kind of like will sit, do an email and say, hey, I'm booking for spring. Who wants on the calendar? Things like that. Rosalind Meyer says, do you use large bottles of paint or small ones? I actually prefer these. Again, everybody has their own opinions, but I love those smaller ones. They have the best colors too. Bridget Ballard says, will Paint Party headquarters teach sites to use to sign up customers and take in funds? Yeah, Bridget. And we have several trainings, including one that I just filmed today that walks you through from me booking a party to exactly what I did to get the link out to that party. Martha Rivas says, do you buy aprons for the people? No. So I have aprons now and I let people borrow them when I'm at my paint party, but I do at the beginning, I didn't have money for aprons. So I didn't. Carol says, I joined today. Where do I find the bonus? Oh, Carol. So anybody who joins today, here's the tricky part. Okay. I want you to take a deep breath because there's going to be many times in this business when things don't go perfectly. And here is the first one. You're going to sign up for Paint Party headquarters and you're going to be so excited. And then you're going to be like, where is my email with the bonuses? And then you're going to have to look for it in spam because it usually goes to spam. Anybody have that problem? It usually goes to spam or your advertising folder. So when you sign up, the bonuses, these are going to be emailed to you, these extras, and then the lookbook will be mailed to your house. So make sure you give us your correct address. Great question. Tony Ermy just joined. Welcome. Candy Eltra just joined. Super excited. Thank you so much for trusting us. Teresa Main just joined. I did the year, so you're committing. I love it. Love it. Toby Craig signing up now. Awesome, Toby. Welcome. I can't wait to get to know you more. Shirley West joined today. Welcome. Very, very excited. Okay. Can I do rapid fire? Let's see if I can do 10 questions in 3 minutes or less. Can she do it? Okay, Molly O'Donnell. How important is it to have easels? Not important at all. Don't buy them until you have the money to buy them. Kathy Gritz says 350. Is that cost based on 10 people? What if you have 25 to 40 people? Kathy, I love where your head's at. Oh my gosh, this makes me so happy. Okay, so Alexa, what's 40 times 35?
40 times 35 is 1,400.
Kathy, it's 1,400. Isn't that amazing? It's so awesome. That's why when you see people and they have a party of 20, 30, 40, they just made bank. They made their mortgage. They made a whole vacation. It's so cool. So yeah, the 350 is just based on 10 people at $35. Of course, you're going to have way more than that. Okay, and Janice Becker says, joined for a year yesterday and just told the husband. That's funny. Well, hopefully he will support you. And remember, success takes time. So as you get in there and you're so excited, remember, be careful who you're telling this about. So sometimes like we get really excited about something and we go tell our best friend or our family member, and we immediately think they're supposed to be exactly as excited as we are. But remember, this is your dream. This isn't their dream. So it's kind of like when they come to you and tell you something really excited, like, yeah, you want to support them, but you're not going to like all of a sudden go do a cheer for them, right? You're going to cheer them on, but you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, that's the best thing I've ever heard, right? Like, so just remember, like, protect your soul. I used to like tell everybody everything, all the dreams I had. And then I realized not everybody has the same dreams I do. Some people think I'm crazy. And now they still think I'm crazy, but they kind of go, oh, okay. I remember going to a family funeral. Yes, you heard me, a funeral. And one of the people said, oh my gosh, they said, you like literally you have that many people at your party, so they're each paying you $35. And I was like, yeah, because they also had questioned why I had quit teaching full time. And that was the reason why, because I knew I could make way more money doing that. Deb says, what kind of paperwork do you take with you if you get a face-to-face? What I like for you to do is when you're in Paint Party headquarters, take the screenshots of some of the best paintings for that season and then bring your calendar. So I bring my calendar anytime I have a meeting. That way I can go ahead and book a few months of parties. Jessie Ann says, do you offer snacks or wine at parties? I do not, and I don't recommend doing it. Allison says, what if someone doesn't finish their painting during the class? Do you give them paint to bring home? I do. I am that person. Like, I'll even give them my paintbrushes. But again, I am an over giver. I truly feel like what you put out comes back to you. And so yeah, I do. I'll say, or I'll be cleaning up. I have one girl that is always like running behind, and she knows I'm cleaning up while she's still working. Mary says, do you divide the vendor people the cost per person you are asking? Do they ever add anything to that so that they make money off your party? So here's the thing. Usually the places I have the parties, I don't pay a fee. Sometimes I will, but that is very, very rare. Usually they're making money off of the food and beverage on a slow night. Anna asks, where do you find people to attend our events? So again, the way I teach you to do this is to really, first off, start with friends and family at your house just to get your feet wet, just to get excited, and then post those pictures. Let people know you're doing this. And then I teach you to find places like a community center using the magic script, which you will get as soon as you sign up, using the magic script, because these places already have events that happen every single month. Okay, let's see. Melissa Worrall says, what if someone wants to have a paint party at their house with friends? Is that a good idea? I get nervous about weirdos. Oh my gosh, I have done so many private parties, and yes, I definitely have those moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, is this a safe place? I usually, if I do private parties, I make sure I know who they are. I make sure, that it's a friend of a friend, that it's been referred, that we've talked or we've met in person. And so, yeah, you can have a paint party at houses with friends. That's totally fine. Just make sure you know them. And McKee says, I am seeing dozens of paint party posts in my small area. How can I compete with them? Oh my gosh, McKee, do not think about it as competing with them. Here's the thing. If you ever go to the grocery store and you buy bread, Think about all the different breads. There is a bread for everyone. Just like some people are going to relate to you and want you to do their party every single time. That's why I teach you to show up, be the best. Don't worry about competition. There are other painting places and painting people in my town, but I still manage to have a business. Again, we don't need all the paint parties, right? We just need a few to make a great living. Sonia asked, how often are new designs released? So we release every 3 months a batch for the new season. And Tammy asked, what does the $47 have the perks of the yearly except for the 3 months free? Yes, Tammy, it does. Both if you choose the year or the $47 a month, you get all of the stuff. You get everything. Let's see, a great question, by the way. Yvette says, what do you do with no-shows? Refund, class credit, or paint kit? So actually, I put no refunds when they sign up. And then usually what I do is if a friend came and they say, oh, they couldn't make it, I'll send home the information to them. Todd and Lero ask, do you wait to buy paints and supplies until they prepay? Yes, I do. Barbara says, do you have a minimum amount of people before you will have a party? That's up to you. I recommend if you're brand new starting out, have a party of 2, have a party of 4, just to get used to the cadence, all of that. Christine says, if I do my own painting, can I use the marketing? Yes, you can. Remember, this is not a franchise. And you're paying for access to use my paintings, my marketing materials, things like that. But this is your business. You get to run it how you want. And Del Ray says, if I sign up to PPHQ, I can use the designs however I want. Like I could paint and sell the designs without the party if the party doesn't happen. Yes. So the only thing I ask that you do not do is you can't take my designs and then start an online membership selling paint party designs, for example. Okay. So that's the only thing I'm asking you not to do. Other than that, you can take my designs, put them on a t-shirt, sell them. You could make stickers out of them. You could make them into kits. You could do all kinds of fun stuff. Okay. We have a few more people that have joined. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to help you. Teresa says, I joined for the year. Congrats. Way to commit. Susan Lawrence says, I just joined. I joined for the year, so excited for my perks and meeting so many new friends, Teresa says. Oh my gosh, that's the truth. You're going to meet so many new friends. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the questions. I think I'm going to do it. I think I can do it. Okay, Marilyn says, how do I reduce the tracers to fit smaller canvases? So we have a couple of sizes for you. Also, if you write this down, it's called block posters, and that will help you as well. Yvette says, how fast after first month does the next bill come? Is it auto pay? Great question. So it comes 30 days after. So every month it's going to come. And then remember, you can cancel at any time. But my hope is that you love it and you're able to make money using the paintings and you find some really cool creative friends in here. So many cool things. And just a heads up, like we try to do an event every year, an in-person event where you can meet each other. And we have a cruise planned to the Bahamas in January of 2025. So not this January, but next January. And so it's for Paint Party headquarter members and their families and their friends. So we're very excited. We already have 400 of y'all signed up for that. So we're very excited about that. And that's where a lot of you meet each other. You see each other every year through our in-person event. And I'm so excited to do this for you. Okay, Chris asked, can you explain what paint kits are? Paint kits are basically a paint party, a to-go paint party, a paint party to go. So they take it home and they paint it on their own. McKee asked, do we charge tax for a class? The way I charge is $35 a person. And I would ask your tax, like a local CPA, somebody you trust about taxes, but I just do $35 a person like that because it's a service. Kendra Stone says, is there a limit as to how many paintings from PPHQ I can use if someone subscribes monthly? No, you can use all my paintings as long as you're a member of Paint Party headquarters. you can use them all. You can paint them all. You can teach them all. You can make money from them all. Like that is what this is about. And I just want to remind you, don't be too overwhelmed with all of the nuances of this, that, this, that, this, that. Remember, your fastest way to cash is an in-person party, okay? And let's see. Denise asked, do you give instructions to the participants? Yes, I do. And we have them ready for you to print and give as well. How do you transport everything for parties? I honestly use a good Marshall's bag, like those Marshall bags that are right there at the checkout line for 99 cents. I've done everything from totes, whatever. I just like a Marshall's bag. Sonia says, are the videos for each painting so we know how to paint it? Yes, almost every painting, okay? Almost every painting we have a video for. Some are like bonus paintings. Remember, I give a certain amount of paintings, but I'm an artist. So sometimes I get very creative and I make more paintings. So instead of hoarding that, I'll take pictures and we'll make a tracer and give it to you as well. Kathleen says, any tips on creating a Facebook business page? Yes. So all you have to do is from your personal page, go to the top right on a desktop and you can go to create and it'll say page, create page. And then you just select through the prompts. It's really easy. That you can just Google how to start your Facebook page. It's very, very simple. Did you have 20 helpers with the party of 220? No, I did not. I probably had, Sharon, realistically 10, probably 10. That's a great question. Look, Lucretia, I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. What if people want to help them? What if people want you to help them physically paint? Oh, I love that. I'm like, let me sit in your seat. I'm going to, take a break. I totally don't mind that. A lot of times people, especially if they're shaky, some painters will literally shake while they paint. And if I've had too much coffee, I do. So if they're shaking and they're supposed to outline something and you can tell they've just spent 2 hours painting and now they're doing, they're kind of nervous, I will either bring a paint pen or I'll say, hey, do you want me to outline that for you? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, please. And so I'll say, okay, let me have your seat for a minute. And I'll literally sit in their seat and I just outline it real quick. And let's see. Debbie Barnes says, whoop, whoop, officially a member of this amazing group. Thank you so much, Heidi Easley, for everything you and your team do for this group. You are very welcome, Debbie, and welcome. I'm so, so happy you're here. Okay, Marcia Meyer says, once you get the venue booked, how do you get butts and seats? So there's many ways to do that, and we teach you inside Paint Party headquarters. But one of the tips that I love is making sure you're working with the host, giving them little blurbs, giving them the right marketing that they need, just like the video that I filmed for you today, and the marketing that you need so that you can get that to the people so that they can get it to their audience. Okay, let's see. Sylvia says, how much is pre-traced? Where do we get that done at? Oh, that's a great question. So I recommend tracing. So almost all of my paintings require a tracing. However, we do have some that are, like we have a Christmas tree that's right now in Paint Party headquarters that's freehand. We teach them how to freehand. However, inside Paint Party headquarters, we also have somebody, again, we try to find like the best wholesales, the best things that will help you. And we have somebody who does, it's called, I can't say the website because it's only for Paint Party headquarters right now, but they do sublimation on canvas. So I've been ordering my canvases from her. Then I don't even have to trace. I just order them and then I just take them to my parties. And so we have all that information, Sylvia, inside Paint Party headquarters. It's another benefit for being a part of that. Amelia asked, Heidi, when booking a restaurant, do the people eat before they paint? And how do you set up if there's food and plates on the tables? So Amelia, great question. I go before and set up, and then I send emails to the people who have signed up and I say, hey, come 30 minutes early, order food and drinks. Pro tip, you want your people coming early to order food and drinks. They usually go sit somewhere else. Because again, that shows the restaurant that they're going to get business on a slow night. And then usually they order like appetizers or drinks while they're painting. Kathleen says, if somebody questions the cost, what do you say to them to justify it? Think about the last time you went to a yoga class, a massage appointment, got your nails done, a movie. Last time, did you go up to the movie theater and say like, "Hey, why is your price this?" Did you go to the nail salon and say, "Hey, why are you charging me that to put these pretty stars on there?" Right? Like, if they're questioning you, they're not your person. Just move on. Joan Swanson says, what kind of things do you use as door prizes and roughly what is your door prize budget? Oh, great question, Joan. So door prize budget, usually for every 10 people, I'll bring 2 door prizes. I usually get my door prizes from like the dollar store or Walmart, things like that. And usually my budget is around $1 to $4, maybe $5. But I don't spend a lot, but I do buy cute bags and cute tissue paper and put a cute little ornament or something fun. Vicky says, have you ever signed up to teach a class at Michael's? No, I do not. And honestly, Vicky, I haven't heard a lot of people having good luck with Michael's classes or Hobby Lobby classes. So I avoid that. I want it to be more of a party atmosphere versus a technical art class. Remember, this is not fine art. This is fun art. Gracie asked, I reached out to a winery. They're interested and want to charge me 50% of my cost per participant. Is this typical? So Gracie, what I would do is I would go back to them and say, hey, is it possible if we charge, $45 a person and you give a glass of wine with that, or maybe you offer a glass of wine and then I can give you $10 per painter. And they shouldn't be asking for 50% of it. And again, not everyone will do that. So if I would try to go back, but if it doesn't work out, just say, oh, I'm sorry, that wouldn't work out. But if you'd like to give a glass of wine for that price and we can charge $45 and I can give you $10 per every ticket, that would be something I would love to do. And kind of go back and see if they'll work with you on that. We've had a lot more join. So welcome. Thank you. And Paula says, I just signed up with PPHQ and I'm having a painting booth at the De Cordova Country Club on the 15th. Are you in Granbury? Yay! You might be right down the road from me. Tammy says, I just joined PPHQ. Amazing, Tammy. Monica Hagan just joined. Welcome, Monica. Kathy Burgess just signed up. Kathy Paul just joined. She says, I am so stoked. Well, I am so stoked that you're trusting us. Thank you. Kennedy, I think, said, I joined. Will I be able to go see bonus number 1 now? Will I be able to see bonus number 1 now? Yes. All of your bonuses right now, when you join, you're going to be approved into the group. Give us about 24 hours. It's probably going to be sooner. Again, I want to under promise and over deliver. And it's probably going to be about 24 hours for you to get into the group. Again, under promise, and we hope to over deliver. And so as you get in, remember, all those bonuses are going to be in the featured and they're going to be emailed to you. So if you don't get the email, remember, go check your spam. It's an Easter egg hunt. It's your first mission. It's your first mission as a paint party host. Lynn asked, what time is the best time for teaching parties? I love to do mine from 6 to 8. However, 6:30 to 8:30, 6 to 8:30, anytime in the evening usually works best for me. Okay, my face is almost off. I think we answered all the questions. I am so proud of you. First off, for hanging in there, okay? Secondly, for doing something new. There are so many people in this world that are just the status quo. They're terrified to start or even try anything new. And so I just want to say right now, I am so proud of you. This is your paint party adventure. You never know where this is going to lead you. You don't know what relationships, friendships, and what is going to come of this. And I cannot wait to help you and hold your hand the whole way and just really be your cheerleader during this. So I just want to say a huge thank you. If you are ready, join us in Paint Party Headquarters. I would love, if you had fun this week, can you imagine what'll happen if you're with us every week and I'm helping you and our team is helping you and just so many cool things. So I am just so proud of you for being here. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see where this paint party adventure goes. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from my team. So again, I cannot wait to get to know you more. And thank you again for trusting us. And I hope you had a lot of fun. All right, I'll see you soon.
I only was doing canvas. That's all I thought. Canvas. Then got into PPHQ. I'm like, oh my gosh, wood? Oh my goodness. Ceramics, and just putting myself out there, because at first I was nervous, like, I don't know if my, clients will want this. And they did. They're like, something new. So not being afraid, to try things out, to do different things. So now I do something different all the time. I have karaoke and paint, couples, painting with a live nude model.
Awesome. Yes. You're going all out. Julie's like,
Yes, it's called the Ooh La La paint experience.
Ooh la la. We're going to have a whole another special training just for that.
Yes. But just not being afraid to try things, because at first I was like, oh my gosh, will they, but you know what? Try it. And as all the other ladies just echoing, do things while being afraid.
And I feel like I started out, not knowing anything. I never taught a paint party. I never had, I'd never been to a paint party. So, I had all these, I had a lot of anxiety, but with all the wisdom in this group, ask questions. Get out there on the forum in the group and ask questions if you have a question, because they're going to answer it for you. They have so much experience with everything, and at whatever level you're at. And I would still consider myself a beginner because I was with Heidi for over 2 years, but I wasn't doing anything. So I want you to get started. That's what I would say. I wish I would have got started right away, because once you teach that first party, like Julie said, it's like, it'll blow you away. You're hooked, and know why you're doing it, know your why and the reason why that you want to do it. So know if you're going to teach virtual parties, you're going to concentrate on virtual parties. If you want to teach paint parties, then study your butt off. Ask the people that have been teaching 10,000 paint parties some questions. Get yourself involved in an accountability group. But know that we all start somewhere. And I started with nothing. I started with 0 audience. And now I have an email list, and I have venues, and I am making money for my family. And the first monthly payment that I made to PPHQ, I struggled to pay. And now I feel like, I don't know how to explain this, but they're paying me. I feel like PPHQ has given me so much knowledge and things. It's the value in the group is more than what you're paying on a monthly level anywhere. You're getting so much more than you can imagine.
In a moment, I just took a step back, and there's 16 women in this room, and some of them are laughing and having the best time with their friend. Some other ladies are singing, beautifully to worship and praise music. And then I look in the back, and there's 2 ladies with tears coming down their eyes, raising their hands. And I'm just the crazy lady that brought the art supplies and the music, but that's what I get to bring. And that's the value that you bring, whether it's women in recovery or a good time at a winery, with some, ladies' night, or if it's a date night. If you ever wonder, would anybody want to paint with me? I can tell you, before that thought even is in your brain, yes. What you're going to bring to this world is of value. And if you question that, think of what if Heidi let her nerves not open this beautiful paint party headquarters experience. You don't rob the world of the blessing of you. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but you do this once, twice, 500 times, 1,000 times, 5,000 times, and you will know that, us creative people, we can be a little quirky. But I love to say that I can't not share my love of art, just like I can't not have freckles on my face, and I have a whole bunch of them. And when you step into that space, guys, your life will be more colorful and beautiful than you can even imagine.